Hello, MZJ. I can't believe you're 60 years old. My gosh. Um, I know it's probably bothering you because I'm 43 now, and you think back when you were 43 and how much better looking I am than you were at that age. And I know that's been something for you to swallow all these years, is knowing how I'd mature and develop and end up a good looking, strapping lad that pretty much trumps yourself in the mirror. But Brenda has sent us a gracious text with some prompts. Some of the things that she asked that we maybe say is how we met Mark and why we're still friends. Honestly, I met Mark Johnson at Show and Livestock. I think I was at a Junior Nationals or some kind of big show, and I remember, of course, he beat me. I did not win, but I remember coming out and telling my dad, is that guy like really smart? And my dad said, yeah, that's probably one of the smartest men you'll ever meet. And I knew right then that I wanted to learn from that guy. So that's how I remember meeting Mark Johnson. Is I asked my dad if that guy was really smart. He told me that's one of the smartest guys I'd ever meet. So I knew right then that I needed to surround myself with that guy. And he asked me to judge for him, and of course I wasn't going to do it. And he was pretty persistent. I was selling tractors at John Deere, and Mark, it took you buying a John Deere Gator for me to finally say yes and judge for you. And I will say that next day, whenever I went to that express contest, making that decision was probably one of the best decisions, without a doubt, that I've ever made in my life. It's made as much or more of a difference than anything that I've done. I've had the opportunity to be on one of your many national champion judging teams. I believe we won it in 2000 there at Louisville. It was a group of guys that I still hold close. You know, I got to judge with the nice laid back ones like Grant Turner and Jeremy Cantrell and Justin Stacy, Cool Breeze, and I also got to judge with the wild and mouthy ones like Jeremy Burr and Cody Sankey and myself. We had a pretty diverse team, but it was a great group of guys that I don't know how in the world you kept us all wrangled and kept us all working together, but you did. And that's one of the things I learned from you too, is you played everybody's strengths and you saw something in all of us and you got the most out of every one of us. And I don't know if we were supposed to be as good as we were, but we dang sure ended up pretty dadgum good. So one of the things that I learned the most from Mark was, when you get lost in something or something seems overwhelming, or you don't really know which way's up or down or what's going on, just slow down and keep it simple. Whether it's judging or whether it's life or whether it's the pressures I have at the bank or whatever it may be, just slow down, keep it simple. Do what you know, do what you practice, do what you know what's right, and you've got it inside of you and you'll find it. Just don't let it overwhelm you. And that's one of the things that I think that Mark taught me the most, because I work at such a fast pace, is to slow down, look around, know what to do, because you know what to do, and do it. One of the things that I like to remember, one of the funnest things I did with Mark was our football games on the side of the road. Mark was an incredible coach, and he was a better person at reading people. And he could tell when our team had animosity and we needed to clear the air. He could tell when we were all on a high and needed to do something fun, or he could tell when we were all really down and felt like we'd been kicked. And one of the things that he always did was he knew how competitive we all were, so he said, Lockhart, pull the van over, because I drove a lot. And I think that was because he didn't want me without arm's reach, but I drove a lot, and we just pulled the van over, and it didn't matter if it was in the middle of the interstate or where it was. And we had a pretty heck of a football game. About everywhere I can remember that we wanted to have one, we had it. And the way I remember it, we won, but I know Mark remembers it wrong. But I know that my team was pretty successful, and I sure enjoyed beating some of them guys like Cody Sankey and some of them. But I guess the moment I really knew that Mark cared the most about me was probably one of the many times that I had fell short and messed up in college. One of the many times that I had made bad decisions. Mark never gave up on me. Mark never judged me. Mark never criticized me. He always pulled me in, no matter where I was or what I'd been doing, and he seemed to have a way to relate and talk to me where he was getting his point across, and he made sure I knew right from wrong and knew what I did was wrong without ever being someone who judged me or criticized me or come down on me. And I think seeing him take time to know how to work me was one of the ways that I think that he cared about, or that he showed me he cared about me the most. Now that Mark is 60, I figure he will get on that Kubota that he's got and drive through them awesome Angus cows and come back to his lovely wife and have a glass of wine and probably sit on his back porch and probably talk about me and all the good times that he and I had and how much he wished that I could come around more, or how much he wished that I was on the back porch with him. I figure that's what he'll be doing when he's 60. And, you know, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me for the next 20 years if he lives vigorously through me. I mean, I know Mark's probably going to sit there and wonder what I'm doing a lot, is what I would think. So, MZJ-isms or nicknames. I don't know if I have the longest nickname, but I'm pretty sure I do, because every single time my phone rings or I call him, it is Terrence, Trent, Darby, Alexander, Lockhart the third. And that is how our conversation starts every time. It doesn't matter if it's on a phone call, on a backdrop, whether I want or not, Mark, on a backdrop, or whether it's in a holding area, or whether it's at an event, it doesn't matter. He pulls his toothpick out of his mouth and tells me Terrence, Trent, Darby, Alexander, Lockhart the third. So that's one of the nicknames that he had for me, and that's all of them actually all together. But the other thing that I go by a lot and live by that I know that Mark put in me is he says the good ones go up and the bad ones go down. That's all he says. I'd ask Mark, man, this class is tough. Mark, this is tough. Mark, you know, he'd say, good ones go up and bad ones go down. You know what to do. And that was my pep talk. That was what he told me, and I apply that all the time, whether it's at the bank or in my own cow herd or with my kids. I tell them all the time, tell people that work for me, hey, good ones go up and bad ones go down. Make a good loan, don't make a good loan. You know, do things right, don't do things right. It's pretty simple. So that's one thing Mark taught me, was keep it simple. Another thing too, I think that's funny, is when I showed up at college and Mark finally talked me into judging, you know, I was sitting there thinking, all right, you know, I'm going to go judge because Mark Johnson asked me to judge. And the minute I showed up, he said, okay, you look like you're 12. Buy a pair of glasses, grow a goatee, get all them loud colors off of you, wear plain stuff, get you some boots. And it took me a little longer to get the goatee than anything else, but I came up with the other stuff, and he told me I looked like I was 12. I'll never forget that. So, what Mark means to me, I don't even know really how to put it in the words. Number one, it's without a doubt the best, the most, the closest mentor in my whole life. I respect him as a dad, as a husband, as a leader in the industry. Heck, I even bought my first purebred Angus bull the other day. It took me 20 years after I left him, but I bought a purebred Angus bull the other day. But I'm going to run him on main cows, Mark. So, but he, without a doubt, the greatest mentor I've ever had, and probably for sure ever will have. And I guess the best way to sum it up is my son's name is Parker Zane Lockhart. So if that don't tell you how much I love you, Mark, nothing will. And that's the only son I got. So he carries on your middle name. Thought it might be weird if I named him Mark Zane Lockhart, so we did Parker Zane Lockhart. But Mark, I love you, love Brenda, love them girls. My whole family does. We'd do anything for you guys, and 60 years old, dude, you're old. But anyways, I'll keep you young, and if you need to know anything or you want to know how things are on the light side of 40, just holler at me, buddy. So happy birthday, Mark. We'll see you soon. Bye.